Mikel, 1-1 in the end. How do you analyse the game?
Well, the game had very different periods. We started the game quite well, had a massive chance with Martinelli, we hit the crossbar. In those moments you score, the game changes completely. We had certain dominance, but we didn't finish enough actions, and that allowed certain counter-attack, especially when we were hitting the box, and they are quite dangerous with that. We wanted to start very strong in the second half, and we've done completely the opposite. Start not paying enough attention on the kickoff, which we already discussed before the match. From then they have a clear header, and after that they score the goal. And then it's obviously game on, and the tide changes completely. So after that we had to stay emotionally very composed. We improved in certain areas. With the changes, I think we improved as well. We had more presence, more threat on the wings, and at the end we found a way to draw the match.
That must have been so frustrating at the start of the second half, because I saw your team go into a huddle. It looked like everyone is preparing to switch on, and then it still just didn't quite happen.
Yeah, but there are the details. Everybody is so prepared in every action, and we knew that they had certain routines there because they've done it a few days ago in the Bundesliga 3 times in a row. And we showed those images. But then actually you have to see it and do it. And we haven't done it, and we paid the price for it.
However, football has a funny way of creating these stories, and that it's Kai Havertz who steps up to take that penalty. What were you thinking in that moment?
Well, that's it. That football has a very funny and nice stories as well, and I think it was really impressive the way he took the penalty, how composed he was, and obviously it was a big goal for us.
Must be happy as well with the impact that Noni Madueke had coming off the bench as well.
Yeah, he was really good. Straight away, he changed the rhythm, the dynamic, the threat, and he had a big impact in the results.
And so, of course, you have Everton at the weekend, but then next week, I'm imagining that you're going to be wanting the Emirates to be burning in terms of with passion and fire.
Yeah, that's what we want. We will have to use now the home advantage. The tie is 50-50 at the moment, a lot to do, and we're going to need our people to get our best.
Just one final aspect. Kai Havertz scoring means it's now 11 of you've had 11 different scorers in the past 7 games. Does that matter at all? Does it help morale to have that many of the squad scoring?
We have discussed that recently. The amount of players that are contributing goals and assists, it's unbelievable, and that's the biggest strength because it's more unpredictable and probably more sustainable.
Kasper, that must feel a bit frustrating given the position that your team got themselves into. How would you explain it?
Yeah, you're right. It's mixed emotions, I think. So we are disappointed with this result, late penalty. I think we did a lot of things right. We closed them down for a lot of chances. They had the Martinelli in the first half and a header. We took care of the set pieces, and I think we read it right, and the guys did very well. A couple of situations, I think, second half we could play our counter-attacks a bit better, but at the end of the day they had a penalty. I think it's not the biggest penalty I've seen in my life, and of course, so it's game on Tuesday. I think we learned a lot, and we go to London with hopes and positive mindset, and we will give our best and not let this opportunity slip out of our hands. So we'll try our very best on Tuesday.
You mentioned that you knew Nicolas Jover yesterday. He's a friend of yours, I'm assuming. That's why you were having a little word with him after the goal?
No, he's not a friend of mine. I try. He used to work at Brentford, and when we went with the national team, I was discussing with Brentford if we could take him for some games, but it never happened, so I only met him a few times, so he's not a friend of mine, but he just said, yeah, you're doing it also. Yeah, of course. So what I said yesterday in the press conference was not for Arsenal, it was in general. We do it, everyone does it, so it's not, I'm not blaming at all what Arsenal is doing, so, but I'm just questioning, is it in the rules that you can actually make these offensive blocks and just body check people without the ball is in the area? And that was just my question. So he just said, yeah, you're doing it too. Yeah. I've never said we didn't, so yeah.
So it was just game recognizing game.
Yeah, exactly. I think there was something like that.
And still, you must be so proud of the effort that your team have put in and what that could promise for next week. The way that Ernest Poku was tagging Gabriel Martinelli, it's not easy to change direction so quickly. Christian Cafane and the real runaround that he was giving Gabriel and Saliba. What does that give you for next week?
Yeah, so tactically for our team, I think we read it right. So how to make sure it's a top team, Arsenal, but how to close them down and how to make sure that the rotations they do have on the sides that we try to do our best to do that, and then the boys did very well. Yeah, Christian Kofani is 19. He's just been here for a short time, and he's a handful. Two of the best centre backs in the world, and they had to fight for the space and the ball. Poku is not a defender; he's a winger. He did well against City on this position, and now he did it again today. So, but in total, I think the team effort was good, and we learned a lot. And as I said, we go to London with hopes, and I think we learned a lot today.
Noni came off the bench today, made the difference. How do you see the result overall?
Yeah, of course we came here to try and win, but when you can't win, it's good to draw and not lose. So yeah, we're full confidence going back to the Emirates. Obviously Everton first, and then we're confident that we'll get the job done in London.
What were the final words from Mikel Arteta before he sent you on?
Yeah, just go and try and change the game.
You did that with the penalty. It seemed like it was actually the back of Malik Tillman that caught you.
Yeah, no, I don't really know what happened. All I know is I felt contact, go down, penalty, so yeah.
Your belief in Kai when he's standing over that penalty in a place that means so much to him was?
100%. Obviously, I know Kai very well. He's been scoring high-pressure penalties all his career, I think, and yeah, it's top composure, top courage for him to step up, and I'm really pleased that he scored, not just for him, but for the team as well.
Can you talk to me about finding the right moment to change the pace of the game? Because you have that ability. How difficult is that to sense the right moment?
Yeah, well, when you come on and your team's losing the game, it kind of gives you that extra impetus, you know, to go and take risks, and because you have to try and change it. But yeah, that's something that I try and work on, when to go slow, when to go fast, and try and mix up as much as possible. And
the overall performance today from the team, how do you sense the mood in the dressing room with it?
Well, when you score in the last minute to draw the game, it's a positive thing. Obviously, there were certain things we could have done much better today, and we know that we're the first to look in the mirror and see where we can be better. But yeah, like I said, to draw in the last minute of the game in a Champions League round of 16 away to a top team, they played very well today. Yeah, it's a positive.
Just finally, can you just let us in there a bit? What exactly do you think could be better next week at home?
Yeah, just our basics. Yeah, on the ball, I feel like we weren't as good as we can be today. In terms of threatening their box, I feel like maybe. But yeah, these are all things that we'll work on, and I'm sure we'll show that in London, for sure.
You came very close to a win tonight. How do you see the overall performance?
I feel like everybody was ready since the beginning, because we know that Arsenal is a strong team. They're one of the best teams in the world right now, so we was prepared for them. We had our clear idea of how to go inside the game, and everything worked. But unfortunately, we conceded in the last minute the penalty that for me was not a penalty. So, but we have a second leg, so we have to go there with the same mentality, the same hunger, and try to win the game.
Why wasn't it a penalty for you? It did seem on the TV pictures that there was contact there.
I didn't check the video yet, but for me, I was like close to the action, and I think like he fall down maybe like 5 seconds later. So he knew that he couldn't get the ball again. That's why he fall down. But I think also the referee should go and check the VAR. But he's the boss of the pitch, so he decided it was a penalty. So we have to respect that. But he was not happy with this result, because he was clearly wanted to win this game, to go there with the advantage. So let's go there and try to win the second leg.
Some big performances from your teammates, none more so than a guy who I would say has become like a little brother to you in Christian Kofan. How would you describe him as a person and his performance tonight?
I'm happy for him, because like he's been working since he came here, so we keep pushing him, because I know that it's not easy for a young player to come to Europe, and we are trying our best, all the teammates, to make him like feel like more comfortable. And I think right now he's helping us a lot with the pressing, and we know that if we're in trouble, we should try to kick the ball in front, and then we fight, and he's so strong. I'm happy for him, and I hope that he will continue like this.
It doesn't, from the outside, look like he is going to be necessarily the strongest guy, but he's such a competitor.
Yeah, I think that's the anger when you're coming to win something. That's the anger, and also like he's still young, and he still have to improve some things. So I think like he's in a good way, and I hope for him that he will reach that high level than Leverkusen.
I think I know who's going to tell him what he needs to improve right here. So just finally, look, next week it is of course a huge task to go to the Emirates and to come away with a result. What does the team need to do to fulfill that?
I think like we have to continue like in the same way, have like more anger and more like this mentality to win every duel and like to don't give space to Arsenal, and also like to keep like focus on the set pieces, because we know that they are one of the best team in corners. And we will prepare this week. We have like first of all Bundesliga game on Saturday, and after we keep like look what we have to improve in the video with the staff and the teammate.